Sabine Hossenfelder's statement that there is no observer. You check below the video on minute 1 is confirming a cognitive death of physics. If a physicist think that there is no observer, then there is also no physics anymore. Observer is the core of physics. Without the observer, there is no physics. Let's go step by step. Let's find out who is the observer. Let's say that you work on gravity and you develop a new physical model of gravity that has equations and everything. So your mind has created the model. This is one element. The model is here. The second element is that there is a physical reality. Okay? So now you have to see how the model is an exact description of physical reality. Okay? And here the observer enters the game. Because observer is aware of the model and of the physical reality. Okay? Without the observer, if a physicist is totally identified with the mind, there is no the third element and there is no development. Without the third element, the observer, physics, becomes religion. Because you develop a model and you believe this is it, you don't have the supervisor. Because the observer is the manifestation of consciousness in every scientist. So once you are aware the way your mind creates a model of reality, whatsoever you search on, once you have this awareness, then immediately you see if the model makes sense or not. Because this is the beauty of physics in regard to the observer. Because the observer is of the higher ontological status than the mind. You know something makes sense, or you know something does not make sense, but you don't need the analytical process for this. You just know. This is the power of the observer. Let's go a little bit in details here. The idea that gravity is related with entropy. It's absolute nonsense. It's a total mind crap. Gravity has nothing to do with entropy. Okay? Observer, see this. Entropy law is describing the fact that in the universe we have the tendency, this is a partial property of the universe, that atoms tend to develop into atoms with a higher number of atomic, higher atomic number. Let's say from the hydrogen to the iron. And this means that the less free energy is available. But this increase of entropy in the universe is only something partial, because in the black holes, the old matter is transformed back into fresh energy in the form of astrophysical jets. So, universe is ruled by the first law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created and cannot be destroyed. And gravity has nothing to do with the entropy, nothing. Gravity is the pushing force of the superfluid space, and this pushing force has the origin in the variable energy density of space. Because every physical object diminishes energy density of space in its center exactly for the amount of its mass. And this is inertial mass, this is origin of inertial mass and gravitational mass. I explained this many times. The theoretical models that gravity has something to do with the holographic model of gravity, it's an absolute nonsense. Because the observer is not there. Physics without observer is totally lost. The idea that curvature of space carries gravity, absolute nonsense. There is no curvature of space in the universe at all. Maybe for the Einstein time the idea was good, but today we see it's just a bullshit. But still, because the observer is not awake in the mainstream, still they go on. Still they discuss all this nonsense. So the only way to progress physics is to wake up the observer in every physicist. Otherwise, the physics is just a mind fuck. Mind fuck. 95% of theoretical articles, of articles which they deal with theoretical aspects, it's a mind fuck. Physicists, they take few equations there, they mix them together, and they create new theories, publish these theories in high ranked journals of theoretical physics, and everything is just a crap, mental crap. That's why I introduced biactive research methodology. You cannot use a mathematical element in a model until you don't know which is the correspondent model in physical reality. This is biactive research methodology. Negative mass, negative energy, dark matter. These are all invented ideas, which they exist only in the mind. Higgs field, only in the mind. Higgs field should be renamed the mind field. So physics is lost, totally lost, because the observer is dead. Check my articles. Soon we will start a podcast with the title The Physics of Buddha. Because the Buddha is inside, he's awake. He has a perfect clearness about his mind. He is not the mind. And when the physicist will step out of the mind, this will be the first step for the physics progress. Otherwise, no progress. That's why I wrote a book, Beautiful Physics of the Awakened Observer. Here, the book is in Slovene language. The book is in Italian language. The book is also in English, but it's a bit upgraded. The title is The Physics of Now, the Physics of Eternal Now. Because the observer lives in eternal now. Observer is perfectly aware that the time, linear time, runs only in the brain. There is no past, there is no present, there is no future. There is only one now, and this now is the eternity itself. I hope I was clear. I wish everybody good day.